I will be your host tonight. As Professor Raper told you, my name is Antoine van Oijen. What I do in my daily life is develop microscopy tools to look at tiny cells and tiny molecules and proteins and how they behave inside cells. Today, I, and together with a number of other people, have stepped way outside of our comfort zones and have exchanged thoughts and ideas and discussed about a very complicated problem, that of antibiotic resistance. The way I see it, antibiotics have really become in our lives as something that we anticipate being there, being available, like we turn on the faucet every morning and we expect clean water coming out of it, like we switch on the lights and we expect to have power. We expect when we come down with an infection to be able to go to the doctors and get prescribed antibiotics, and miraculously within a few days we were better. Be it coming down with strep throat, or be it undergoing a surgical procedure and getting antibiotics to prevent infections from taking place. This is not just a problem that can be solved by hard science alone. This is not a problem that can be solved by just inventing new antibiotic drugs or by inventing better diagnostic tools. This is a problem that we really have to think about as a community. We have to think as a community, you and I really, about how we use antibiotics. So we really need to make the smart decisions about when to use antibiotics, because we know now as scientists, the more antibiotics we use, the larger the risk of bacteria becoming resistant against these antibiotics. So today we've had a really exciting day, I think, discussing with all these experts ways that we as a University of Wollongong, in the Illawarra, with all our close connections to the regional and local healthcare networks and our medical research institute here on campus, how we can get together and start to formulate solutions or parts of the solution to this big problem. Tonight you will hear from one of the experts in Australia on this particular problem of antibiotic resistance, Professor John Iredell. Professor Iredell is at the University of Sydney and Westmead Hospital. He's an infectious disease specialist, and he's one of those rare individuals who combine basic science, hardcore research, with the clinical experience. And this is really a valuable combination.
The estimation from the O'Neill report was that antibiotic resistance is likely to result in more deaths than cancer by 2050, so it will become our leading cause of death. There's no doubt that if you have a severe infection, that resistance to the normal antibiotics that would be used first up has a direct impact on your chances of survival from it. And that impact is probably in most studies around twice. So, in other words, if you present to the hospital with an infection and you have an antimicrobial resistant organism, you're twice as likely to die as a result of that infection. And so that really the antimicrobial resistance that we see in a country like Australia is a direct reflection of the places that we visit and the antimicrobial resistance they see. So that the antimicrobial resistance that dominates here reflects our travel patterns, which are largely Asian, much more than European. And so the antibiotic resistance genes we see here are mostly the Asian-style antibiotic resistance genes. So they're different to North America, they're different to Europe, and there is some level of regionality around all this. And every time we touch surfaces, every time we touch each other, we're sharing microbes. I know it sounds a little bit gruesome, but it's actually part of a healthy planet. The problem is that if the healthy microbes we share are adapting to things that we have been wanting to save up to kill them, then we've kind of created a problem. And this is sort of where we are. Sanitation and hygiene is obviously very important. If we want to contain the spread of something we don't like, hand washing is not a big ask. Control of selection pressure is just common sense. There's also a need to develop the human capital. So initiatives like the Global Challenge at University of Wollongong, where we're getting people together from all different academic disciplines to tackle a complex multidisciplinary problem, is the way forward. There's no doubt about it.